Okay, this one's gonna be really juicy and personal, but let's talk about sex. Let's talk about what the yogis say about it, and I'll give you some fabulous examples. Let's start with why I don't have sex. So here's the thing. The yamas, which is, there's 8 limbs of yoga, and yamas is an aspect. And there are 5 teachings within this. Ahimsa, Satya, Bramacharya, Asatya, Aparigraya. I grew up in America, so pardon my pronunciations. But one of them is really important. All of them are really important. But this one in particular has been very translated wrong, let's just say. Misunderstood. Bramacharya. It's a practice of abstinence. Now, it doesn't mean that the yogis are saying don't have sex. You can't understand Kundalini without understanding sexual energy. That's not what they're saying. But to understand yourself and your spiritual energy, you have to understand your sexual energy. Because your sexual energy is what transforms your being into spiritual energy. Now, if we are constantly consummating, it depletes you. We all have jing, right? And the sacred seed gets reintegrated back into the body. It has minerals in charge into it. So on a physiological level, it's a good thing. But more than that, if you want to awaken your intuition, and let's say you don't have a partner, best decision I ever made, stop having sex. Because it allows that energy to transform into spiritual energy. The spiritual energy is what changes your cells. Now, to have a partner, if you're in a spiritual union, then you will charge each other's your trillions of cells. And your body will enter a process of self-healing. Beautiful. Now, if you're in a union where it's not charging, it's depleting, so casual instances or sort of having sex too soon, then the energy can't transform. It doesn't come up to the upper chakras. Sex is not a physical thing. Like, yes, it's a physical, but if you're using it just for the sake of pleasure, it's essentially a meditation, because it gets you into the one mind. It gets you into union. It's a meditation, right? Because for that moment, that orgasm, you clear, you're thoughtless. So it is sort of this ultimate meditation. It puts you right into the now. But without true love and gratitude for the act itself, then you're masturbating with somebody else's body, essentially. The quality of the sex that you're having matters. So it's best, if it's not high quality, to just not have it at all. Because then you're harnessing that energy in your own being, you're getting more and more connected to your own spiritual energy, and then you're unlocking things like psychic gifts. So, we see a lot in the Kundalini teachings that there's Tantra. And that is a beautiful thing, to be in union with somebody else. Don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-sex, for sure. That's part of the reason I started this journey, is because I like it a lot, like most of us, right? There's nothing wrong with our animal natures to use it for evolution. There's a reason that we can all do it. But it's so much better when it's conscious. It's so much better when you know that the partner that you're choosing is someone that you can fully trust, and you're both doing it to get closer to God. And then you're not depleting. Like, I've seen so many friends enter new relationships and then they start to look tired. And it's like, how's it going? You know, you're in this love bubble, and then so you're like having a bunch of sex, but you're depleting your ojas. So the more you can harness, even if you're in a relationship, especially if you're in a relationship, like if you build that chi up, like you're in a state of sort of like arousal, and it's magnetic. And so all the other things in your life get better. And it doesn't mean you're just like horny all the time, because it transforms energy. You can look at something beautiful and you don't think, I want to have sex with it. You're just purely in the gratitude that beauty is a reflection of God. And so how amazing to be with a partner that sees you as a reflection of God and not just something to seek pleasure from. It's the highest form of meditation in a lot of ways, for a reason. So, yes, Kundalini has everything to do with sexual energy, because it's the process of taking that energy and transforming it into spiritual energy. So for me, and I've been thinking about this a lot, because after India, I'm going to Europe, and I'm traveling all around France and Italy. And I was like, maybe this is the time that I just experience something casual. It's been a while. And then my 70s philosophy teacher talked a bit about Bramacharya, and I was like, no, I want to keep cultivating this. It's got to be sacred. And there's so many things, there's things to do to clear your energy, to not have past partners in your being. It takes at least 20 days, at least for just the chakras to separate. So there really is no such thing as casual sex. Instead, you absorb their karmas and then you have to work through it. And if you're an empathic person, then all the more reason that you're going to be sensitive, all the more reason that you're going to start dipping your energy over vibration. Like, the teachings say to have sex more like once a month if you're in a partnership with someone that you know and trust and love, because it's more about healing your body and awakening your true essence. So don't be fooled. There's plenty of tantric teachers out there that are trust me, being a young tantric, there's many opportunities. There's many gurus or teachers that are siphoning energy and saying, look at this, like touching your pubic bone and saying, I'm doing a womb healing. That was a real example. And you're so vulnerable in that because it's misunderstood. And it feels really good, right? It doesn't mean that, the pleasure centers aren't awakening you at all. At all. But don't be fooled, because it gets so much better. It's something that's worth waiting for. And there's distortion there, like in Christianity, like the practice of abstinence is more about, the way it's been interpreted has been more about control. And that your virginity is something to give away to a man. But the Christian mystics, the teachings is like the ancient Kundalini teachings. You're harnessing something very powerful and super magnetic. It takes you to samadhi. It takes you to dissolving your ego. It takes you to thoughtlessness. It takes you to being one. And again, it doesn't need to be a heteronormative relationship, because you don't even need to discharge the fluids of the body to reach that state. It's just the intention of two people coming together. They say when two or more are gathered in a church service, and when two or more are gathered in wanting to bring harmony to the earth. It's this process of allowing the energy to come down into the body, into the earth, and then back up into heaven. And you're in that space in the middle, and all of you is getting cleared and healed. That is why it's sacred. And that's why they wouldn't reveal these teachings till you really understood your own self. So, temptation's everywhere. It's not hard to have sex. It's superhuman, and it's amazing, and it's great. But if I can do it as, you know, a young lady with needs and shit, you can do it too. And I'm so tired of the whole world is you know, it's so sexualized. No one's really saying don't do it unless it's divine. But don't do it unless it's divine, because your body will self-heal. Your trillions of cells will have the void, that will have the God particle awakened in them. That's the point. It creates life. It creates literally other human beings. That's, you channel a soul into your body in conception. It's so powerful. And if you're not using it for that, it's still so powerful. So I personally don't want anyone's karmas in me that isn't somebody that I'd want to work through those with them, that I can't have honest, awesome communication with. It's gonna bring up shadows, but who do you want to do shadow work with? Not just anybody. You're gonna get wrinkles. Or you can unlock eternal energy in your body. So that's today's talk. And there's one day left if you guys want to join the sacred space. First 8 weeks. I'll run more, but it's not too late. Email me at oddyoga.space@gmail.com. And we're going to talk about sex and love and money and how to do it. And we're going to move through the chakras. And you're going to magnetize conscious money, conscious love, conscious sex. And I'm not talking from inexperience and discipline. A lot of discipline. Alright? Sanam.